Government emails are supposed to be public records so you can hold people accountable.
But the governor's office is blocking us from seeing Tony Evers' emails. Fox 6 investigator Amanda St. Hilaire has been fighting for these records for almost 2 months now. She joins us in studio. How's it going?
Ted, Mary, transparency advocates say the governor's office is violating the spirit and perhaps the letter of the law. When we had a hard time getting answers from the governor's staff, we took our questions straight to the governor. If you want to know where your money is really going, you need the receipts. If you want to know what your government is really doing, you need the emails. Who's making decisions? How? Why?
These are all legitimate issues of public interest.
We should be able to see what they're doing every day.
That's why open records advocates say what you are about to see is alarming.
Governor, you've said that you are committed to transparency. So why is your office denying our request for 1 day's worth of your emails?
We'll come back here in a minute. But first, we'll start with a little transparency of our own. The Fox 6 investigators wanted to see 4 weeks of Governor Tony Evers' emails. It's an open record spot check we regularly do on elected leaders and public employees. Last year, state lawmakers gave us their emails, so we didn't expect any problems from the governor.
We have to find a way to make sure that transparency exists. I just don't think that enhances transparency. Accountability and transparency.
But the governor's office denied our request, saying it involved thousands of pages and would take weeks to figure out which parts should be redacted. So we narrowed our request to 7 days. Denied again. We tried one more time, asking for the governor's emails from just 1 day. Denied. Governor Evers' office says you cannot see who he talks to, what he's up to, in 1 single day.
It's part of a concerted effort, unfortunately, to come up with ways to limit public access.
It looks to me as though the governor's office is trying to come up with some reason to say no to you. And what it should be doing is to try to find some reason to say yes.
Bill Leaders is president of Wisconsin Freedom of Information Council. April Barker is an open records attorney. We showed them letters from the governor's office explaining why we're blocked from seeing Tony Evers' emails.
I'm kind of stunned.
I don't think that is a legal interpretation of our open records law.
The governor's attorney says we need to provide search terms like budget or agriculture. Okay, what's wrong with that?
It turns public records requests into a guessing game.
Barker says you miss out on crucial information if you need to know what's in the emails before you see the emails.
You don't know what you don't know, so you don't know what to ask for. And I think that's ultimately the object here.
Maybe you don't care about Tony Evers' emails. Advocates worry the governor's office is laying the groundwork to hide other records that tell you what the government is doing on your time and your dime.
The governor's office is at the top of the food chain, and it matters very much how he acts with regard to the open records law. He should be setting an example of maximum transparency and urge all of the agencies under his control to do the same.
We asked the governor's office to respond. That didn't happen.
We'll be glad to answer any questions.
So we tried something else.
Governor, you've said that you are committed to transparency. So why is your office denying our request for 1 day's worth of your emails?
I have no idea.
No one's told you?
No.
We filled him in.
So you're asking for
1 day's worth of your emails.
Oh, that'll be pretty boring, I'll tell you. If I do 1 email a day, that's an extraordinary day. So we'll work on that.
So you think the public should be able to see 1 day's worth of your emails?
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
Maybe that's true, but we don't know because just minutes later, the governor's deputy chief of staff said we still weren't getting those emails, saying our questions were in poor form and the governor had not had a chance to review the open records law.
I've always believed that your actions need to back up your words.
The governor's words call for transparency. As for his actions, we're still waiting on the receipts. We talked to 3 open records attorneys, 2 advocacy groups, and none of them would support the governor's office's interpretation of the open records law. Now, the governor's attorney says our request would take up too many taxpayer resources. But the attorneys we spoke with say the governor's office is actually wasting time and resources looking for reasons to deny access to public records.
Again, this is standard operating procedure. Journalists do this all the time. So
Yes.
how does the Evers administration respond to you compared to other governors? Let's just say Governor Walker, the most recent governor.
Well, the response, that depends on who you ask. So Bill Leaders with Wisconsin Freedom of Information Council says he would put Walker and Evers in roughly the same category. But he's also worried about the Evers administration rolling back one of Walker's executive orders on open records. So we do have more details about that on our website. And we also have more information on the legal arguments that are at play here if you're interested in taking that deep dive.
And the legal experts say some of this comes down to the definition of the word "or."
I kid you not, that's what it comes down to. And you know something's up when even the lawyers say there's too much lawyering here.
Bottom line, still no emails?
Still no emails. We'll let you know if and when we get them.
All right, Amanda, thanks.
Well, coming